All of us know about and may even have believed in the tooth fairy at some point in our lives, but I think we can all agree that her method is deeply flawed. It makes you wonder, not only how she stays alive, but how she has managed to win the popularity contest among the tooth-collecting creatures. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, there's more than just the fairy. And the fact that my dear beloved tooth mouse remains so overwhelmingly lesser known has haunted me since I realized that the tooth fairy is a legit concept and not some weird hybrid that pop culture has invented because it gives them an excuse to add glitter to the scene. So let me, an obviously unbiased alien, compare the two and determine the superior tooth collector. Firstly, the collecting method. I'm a deep sleeper, and I know that's uncommon since 99.9% of my friends wake up at the slightest noise. Behold the exception. So let me just ask you why the tooth fairy has decided it was a good idea to tell sweet, innocent children to put their teeth under their pillows. What sort of move was that? How are you supposed to collect it without the kid realizing? Just casually tell them that you came in to check if the fairy has been or not? I guarantee they're going to get really suspicious. And if you want to argue that the fairy can do it because fairies are light and pretty and have magical glitter, well, fun fact, but most young kids are incredibly prone to move in their sleep. A lot. I'm just saying that the tooth fairy will end up looking more like this than this. The tooth mouse, however, is vastly superior in this regard. He has the kid leave his tooth in his shoe, a lot easier to deal with. Sure, you'd still need to sneak into the room, so light sleepers could still be onto you, but the chances of waking them up by sticking your large hairy arm under their pillow, desperately trying to feel around for the tiny tooth, is significantly smaller. Secondly, the home and/or implied workload of said tooth creature. The tooth fairy is well known as the tooth fairy. Yes, legends and media extrapolated the story to bring in an army of tiny fairies to accommodate the unrealistic workload, but still, the image many of my friends fondly hold onto is the one of a single fairy carrying out the work Santa does once a year 24/7. The tooth mouse I knew never claimed to go to all the eligible houses every night. Instead, he often lives in a secret corner of your house, slowly accumulating your teeth to build his humble little home. This continues until the day when all the resident children have lost all their milk teeth, in which case the tooth mouse will pack up all his tooth bricks and move to a new house with new kids. This implies the existence of many tooth mice, and it is an accepted fact that it is merely a profession available to mice and not the born duty of their eternity. The exact location of his home varies from house to house, but the one I believed was that there was a secret tile in the kitchen that served as a trapdoor to either his home or a tunnel leading to his home. Not really believing in the mouse didn't stop me from theorizing how he'd stop the tile from sounding hollow or being opened from the outside. I'm not sure where I got the idea, since none of my family can remember indoctrinating me with it. We always knew my dad was the tooth mouse, although he would never admit as much. So every time we lost a tooth, we would build elaborate traps around our shoes, designed to wake us up when he came, or to prove it must have been a human, since mice couldn't possibly have done what he had. It's a good thing we weren't any good at thinking up these plans. I think there's a reason we lost our teeth at such a young age. But with all this information, let us evaluate and summarize. Pros of having the mouse. It's creative. The kids do not grow up with a fear of mice. Plus, for some reason, I found people with the mouse are more likely to have active imaginations. It's probably because it's more culturally encouraged, but I'll put it on the mouse. Cons of the mouse. It might maybe have the kids feel a little too positively about rodent pests. Pros of the fairy. Cons of the fairy. Boring, predictable, mainstream, and difficult to collect tooth. With that, I leave it up to you to decide which is better. It's obviously the mouse. All this talk may start you wondering, however, what started this whole bizarre tradition in the first place? Why do people feel the urge to present their teeth to odd creatures to build castles and houses with? And what other, even lesser-known traditions might exist out there in the big wide world? Rest assured and wonder no more, because I am here. The story varies somewhat. In England, they used to burn their teeth for fear that a witch would get it and thus have complete control over them. It was also believed that if you didn't dispose of it properly, you'd wander around the afterlife, forever searching for the lost mouth stone. In other places, they threw them on their roofs in hopes that some sort of rodent would get a hold of it and thus ensure that their child's tooth would grow back strong and straight, like the rodents. In Japan, and generally East Asia, they apparently throw their teeth as straight as possible in the direction of growth. Bottom teeth will be thrown into the sky, and the top ones into the ground. The straighter the throw, the straighter the new tooth. Similarly, in the Middle East, they apparently throw their teeth straight into the sun. In Turkey, the parents allegedly bury their child's teeth at a place close to a desired profession. So if they want the kid to become a teacher, they'd bury it in the school playground. Or if they want her to become a doctor, they'd bury it in the hospital pot plant, etc. In Ireland, apparently the leprechaun takes care of your unwanted baby mouth bones. Viking cultures kept their children's teeth and made jewelry out of it to wear it into battle, as it was seen as good luck. The mouse, apparently more popular than I supposed, is a widely spread concept over Latin countries, but apparently in Argentina they leave their teeth in glasses of water, and the mouse has to drink the water? I don't want to be the parent on duty over there. My tooth mouse implied workload is obviously not universal, since in South America they have only the one named Al Ratoncito Perez. France also has a mouse with the most fleshed out, vaguely likely origin story available. The bizarre 17th century tale written by Madame d'Aulnoy tells how, in order to help a queen defeat an evil king, a fairy turns into a mouse. She then hides under his pillow and, gets rid of his teeth. As disturbing as that is, the French tooth mouse is still much beloved and named Petite Souris. Obviously, it really is but a vague origin story. The theory I believe, my cousin presented it, is that the mice collect our teeth because they are the true scientists studying us, since, Earth is a big computer trying to determine the question to life, the universe, and everything. Where the fairy has originated, I'm not actually sure, but the sad truth about her is that she is kicking out many traditional stories all over the globe, as media and westernization is taking over cultures. Of course, the tooth tales of our youth are but a small part, and different cultures will probably stay decidedly different for many more generations. But I find it sad to see such a simple small story slowly fade. It makes you wonder how many other stories have already faded into oblivion.
Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. If you liked it, please remember to push the little thumbs up because that makes me happy. And if you have any corrections to my facts or interesting tooth collecting creature stories yourself, please, I'd love to hear about them in the comments. And other than that, just remember to stay weird and curious, and I'll see you next time.